Tiffany, because I don't know if everybody else knows, you're four sisters, or there's four of y'all, all sisters.
So my poor dad, yes, he originally he had gone to Spartan School of Aeronautics, which is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's one of the big aeronautics schools that they have in the nation. A lot of people come in and go there. So he moved from Minnesota to go there. And he did not like working on airplanes because you didn't get to dive into it and really diagnose it and figure out exactly what the problem was. You just exchanged parts because it's too dangerous for something to go wrong when you're in the air. So that's why he left that and went into the automotive industry. He started in 1982, which was the year I was born. And so I have been raised just like Sherry and Ashlyn and Kimberly and many other women that find themselves here in the industry now, around shops and in the shop. So I certainly wasn't a stranger to it and ended up having three sisters. So my dad didn't have a male heir to take over. But I always worked in the shops with him. You know, we had our own little room in the summers, and dad would come in and hand us our McDonald's Happy Meal and then go back out to the shop and work. And we just kept ourselves busy. I mean, and that's what it was. If dad was too busy, sometimes he might come send one of the guys to come pick us up from school. It was just, we're very used to it, very used to being in a male environment like that. So we heard the cuss words. It was all fine. But I love the fact that things are changing now, that the environment isn't dirty like that. You don't have the posters, the snap-on posters that they had years ago, or my dad had a clock of all the fancy ladies scantily clad. You don't see that like you're used to. Thank goodness. Poor dad gave him four daughters. All of us except one have worked in the shop at one point or another. But myself and the youngest sister are the two that work with him now. And I co-own Lifetime Transmissions with him in Broken Arrow. And I came on full time with him in 2013. At the time, prior to that, I was working full time for a Head Start program, which is a federally funded grant program. And very passionate about education, went to college and graduated with a bachelor's myself. Have always loved education. And if you listen to Sherry's story and Ashlyn's story, and even my story about what pulled us back into the industry, there was something else, and it wasn't working on cars that brought you back. For Sherry, it was the events. For Ashlyn, it was the marketing. There's so much more to the automotive industry than a lot of people realize. And working with the schools with AWIA is one of the things that I kind of get to help them figure out and navigate. I was talking to a school the other day and I was letting them know, which came up on the call that you had mentioned that we have every Wednesday this morning. We hate hiring service writers. That is a more difficult job than hiring a technician. I would hire technicians all day long. I do not want to have to replace a service writer. Finding somebody that is not only presentable and treats your customers like family, like you want them to be treated, is such a challenge. And with the young people that we have and all the social media, they are socially awkward. A lot of them are very socially awkward, and that is a challenge that I feel like the technology centers could really stand up and help us with. So I'm hoping to start promoting that and AWIA's work with the schools and try to get some other classes so that when you go to a technology center that offers automotive, there's other automotive classes that you can take, whether it's service writing or marketing, all these different things, so that they see the wide variety of what's available for a career for them. And I hate to see somebody go through an automotive training program, especially a woman, because they have so much to offer to the industry. And we're really trying hard to recruit them. If they find that maybe that's not the path, it's too physical for them. There's a lot of ladies that can push through it and they learn different ways, to work smarter, not harder, and can do a lot of even the heavy lifting. There's a lot of female transmission builders, R&R technicians. I mean, and some of them are tiny. It blows me away that they're able to do it. But there are ladies who decide to go a different route. And I feel like it's because we haven't been great about advertising our opportunity and what an amazing industry we have. Like look at the associations. I bet Sherry's probably half of her classes are in management. And the thing that will blow me away is a shop owner will go there and he will take technician classes. You have technicians to take technician classes. You don't need to be working in the shop anymore. You need to be taking the management classes because, like you said earlier, Jeff, you are taking care of the families. You're not hands on anymore, not in the shop. That's what your guys are doing for you. And I think that's what a lot of managers and shop owners maybe at times don't realize. And that's why Ashlyn can be such a great shop owner, is because she's not focused on working in the shop. She's focused on empowering her team, and she does such a great job at doing that and having team building activities. One little thing she did that was so cute. Since they're in a small town, they still do a lot of the small town, fun Midwest stuff, and they were having a I think it was a scarecrow competition. And her and another shop had were kind of going against each other, and they built this little three-team scarecrow, celebrate their birthdays, but don't try to work on the shop. There's times when we have to. You're gonna have staff that calls in. I probably find myself at the front end a lot more often than I would like. Um, but at the end of the day, that's our job, is to empower the team as owners, and the leadership part's really important to participate in your community, be part of your chamber of commerce, get to know other shops, because like you said, and everybody said here, Sherry, they're they're not competition. There's plenty of work to go around, and we can learn so much from each other. Amazing women in automotive, we learn stuff from each other every day. We have a ton of North Carolina members, and they are an amazing, cohesive little group, and they do such an awesome job supporting each other. And that's one of the things I love. I don't really like talking about myself. I love talking about these other women and all the stuff that they do. And they just blow me away all the time. It's
Well,
amazing.
well, we needed to hear your story because it's four women, and like you said, three of them have worked in the shop, and I know that when I call up there, I may or may not get your sister on, and then
Mhm.
she screens your calls.
She
What do you want to
does.
talk to her about? Who are you? Where do you know her from?
She
And it's
does.
now Kimberly doesn't know that you're in Broken Arrow. It's not Broken,
I have some friends up there.
right there by Tulsa.
Oh, really?
A lot of different ones. So I'm gonna have to tell them about your shop.
There you
And
go.
hers,
Tell them we're on 61st and Aspen. They'll know where it's at.
Okay, perfect.
and that's mostly transmissions is what y'all do, right?
Yes, we specialize in transmissions. That's all we do. We don't do general repair. I mean, like most transmission shops, if a front wheel drive car needs a brake job, you're right there. We'll do stuff like that. But we don't advertise or bring in general repair. We just focus on transmissions. That's our
But
specialty.
but see, that's all part of being concerned with the customer because you're already
Mhm.
there.
And expressing that to them as well. They always think you're calling again so you can up their bill. But being able to explain that to them, that, hey, these are some items that we've seen. We just want to look out for you. We can go ahead and put the tires and stuff back on, but now you're going to pay to have everything removed again. If you'd like to go ahead and address it now, we can take care of it. And they're usually over the moon excited about it. Oh, okay, please, you know, do it. But that's a lot of that relationship building with a customer, which is really hard to find in a good service writer. They're so few and far between.
When they walk in, that's who they're seeing. That's your shop. That's
Which is why your customers love mom so much. She's a great one to welcome them and say hi,
Yeah.
be
and,
nice and kind.
and know their
Mhm.
names, know their children's
Yeah.
names, know the
Women
grand.
aren't intimidating. You're usually not going to get a big, burly, hot headed man that's going to cuss him out because he's mad, like he would a man.
And
So
trust that they
they do
build.
a lot of softening. Mhm.
It is. It's amazing. Well, I appreciate so much.